Hi, I'm Charlotte. Welcome back to my booktube channel. I am so excited because we are doing the first book haul of 2025. And yes, you heard me right, my first book haul of the year. I mean, I have quite a few books around me right now. We have bag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, there is a hell of a lot right now, and I cannot wait to show you what I have. So I am going to start with this bag right here. There is, I believe, 5 books in this bag, and oh my god, there is just 5. Got it right. We have Dating Dr. Dill. I can't even speak. Dating Dr. Dill. This is by Nisha Sharman. How good is that cover? I just love the pink. Karina Mann dreams of having a love story like her parents, but she prefers restoring her classic car to swiping right on dating apps. When her father announces he's selling her late mother's home, Karina makes a deal with him. He'll gift her the house if she can get engaged in 4 months. But her search for a soulmate becomes impossible when her argument with Dr. Prem Verma, the host of the Dr. Dill show, goes viral. Now the only man in her life is the one she doesn't want. Dr. Prem Verma is dedicated to building a local community health centre, but he needs to get donors with deep pockets. The Dr. Dill show was doing just that until his argument with Karina went viral, and he was left shortchanged. That's when Karina's meddling aunties presented Prem with a solution. Convince Karina he's her soulmate and he'll regain funding for his clinic. Even though his views on love matches and arranged matches conflict with hers, Prem finds that the more he's with Karina, the more he begins to believe she's the woman he wants to spend the rest of his life with. But for Prem and Karina to find their happily ever after, they must admit that hate has turned into fate. Absolutely love this. That sounds such a fun read. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to read this sooner rather than later because that sounds fun. Put it on the cart. My cart is literally so full right now. And then we have Cleat Cute. This is by Meryl Wilsner. I do have this on my Kindle. Have not yet read it. And honestly, all I know is that it's a football romance. Nothing sexier than playing hard. Okay. Grace Henderson has been a star of the US women's national team since she was 16. But when she's sidelined with an injury at just 26, a bold new upstart, Phoebe Matthews, takes her spot. Phoebe is everything Grace isn't, a gracious jokester who plays with a joy that Grace has lost somewhere along the way. The last thing Grace expects is to become teammates with benefits with this class clown. Phoebe is too focused on her first season as a professional soccer player to think about seducing her longtime idol. But when Grace ends up making the first move, they can't keep their hands off each other. As the World Cup approaches and Grace works her way back from the injury, the women try to find a way they can play together instead of vying for the same position. I can't pronounce that word on the pitch. But as the sparks between them start to ignite, will both players realise they care more about their relationship than making the roster? Ooh, sounds fun. I have just noticed that I've got another book in this pile by the same author, and that is Mistakes Were Made. So I'm just going to pop this on the shelf. I sort of have a clue of what Mistakes Were Made was about, and I'm pretty sure she hooks up with someone's parent. When college senior Cassie spends her Friday evening at an off-campus bar, she isn't looking for a hookup. It just happens buying a drink for a stranger turns into what should be an uncomplicated, amazing one-night stand. But the next morning rolls around and her best friend drags her along to meet her mum, who turns out to be the hot older woman Cassie just slept with. Like, what? Erin was meant to spend the weekend getting closer to her daughter, not hooking up. But what should have been a one-time fling quickly proves impossible to ignore and soon Cassie and Erin are sneaking around. Worst of all, they start to realise they might really have something real. Is being honest about love between them worth the cost? Always trust your heart when it comes to love, honestly. Always trust your heart, that's all I'm saying. Or trust your gut in most cases, because a woman's gut is hardly ever wrong. Like, we are only on, book 3? We've got another book. I know this is part of the series. I do want to get the rest of the series, and this is Astrid Parker Doesn't Fall. Once again, I think, is it Sapphic when it's 2 female main characters? Not sure, but we've got another book like that. For Astrid Parker, failure is unacceptable. Ever since she broke up with her fiancé a year ago, she's been focused on her career. So when she's asked to be the designer of the Everwoods Inn renovation to be featured in a hugely popular home makeover show, Astrid is filled not only with the project, but for the perfect distraction, but her perpetually displeased mother might finally give her a nod of approval. However, Astrid never planned on Jordan Everwood, lead carpenter for the renovation. Jordan is determined to preserve the history of her family inn, particularly as the rest of her life is in shambles. When the determination turns into some light sabotage to ruffle Astrid's perfect little feathers, the showrunners ask them to play up tension, but somewhere along the way their dislike for each other evolves into something quite different. It's time for Astrid to decide if she's going to pursue the life that she is expected to lead, or the one she really wants. Go with the one you really want. You know you want to. Don't follow the lead of everybody else. Go follow the one you want. Sorry, had to be done. Honestly, try to live up to other expectations. You're just going to get nowhere. Just do things yourself. Do it your own way. Do not care. And then we have Tangled Up in You by Christina Lawrence. This is a meant-to-be novel, and apparently there's a few books on the back. It says also available, If the Shoe Fits, buy the book, Kiss the Girl. Not sure if this is the first in the series or not, or if you can read them out of order, but it says, raised off the grid for most of her 22 years, Ren has read hundreds of books, taught herself to paint, and built a working wind power system, but longs to live in the real world. So when she is accepted by Corona College, it feels like her life is finally beginning. Fitz is about to graduate, top of his class, and convince everyone he is the rich, handsome player that he says he is, when Ren, with her cascading blonde hair and encyclopedic brain, crashes into his life. When a simple assignment forces Ren and Fitz together on a road trip, the world somehow shifts, and the unlikely pair realise that maybe the key to the dreams they've both been chasing has been sitting next to them the whole time. And it says, part of the acclaimed and best-selling Meant-to-Be collection, New York Times best-selling author duo Christina Lauren and dream up a witty, deeply romantic modern reimagination of The Princess in the Tower for anyone who has ever longed to let their hair down. So basically, she's trying to get out from where she's been. She wants a new life. He just wants to prove that he's always been this rich player. Okay, fair enough. So that is 5 books now on the TBR cart. I'm hoping what I got all fits onto this, because I don't have anywhere to put the stuff at the top right now. So we are going to go with this one. This one only has one in it, and I can see at the top of it, it says Prince Harry. And this is Spare. I never normally read, is it fiction or non? Don't get me wrong, it's a fiction book, isn't it? Like, I never read anything like this, and there is a few books like this in my haul. I just know this is Prince Harry, about Prince Harry. I've been wanting to read it since it came out, especially with all the Brexit stuff going on. It was one of the most searing images of the 20th century. 2 young boys, 2 princes, walking behind their mother's coffin as the world watched in the sorrow and horror. As Princess Diana was laid to rest, billions wondered what Prince William and Prince Harry must be thinking and feeling, and how their lives would play out from that point on. For Harry, this is that story at last. Before losing his mother, 12-year-old Prince Harry was known as the carefree one, the happy-go-lucky spare to the more serious heir. Grief changed everything. He struggled at school, struggled with anger, with loneliness, and because he blamed the press for his mother's death, he struggled to accept life in the spotlight. At 21, he joined the British Army. The discipline gave him structure, and 2 combat tours made him a hero at home. But he soon felt more lost than ever, suffering from post-traumatic stress and prone to crippling panic attacks. Above all, he couldn't find true love. Then he met Meghan. The world was swept away by the couple's cinematic romance and rejoiced in their fairy tale wedding. But from the beginning, Harry and Meghan were preyed upon by the press, subjected to waves of abuse, racism and lies. Watching his wife suffer, their safety and mental health at risk, Harry saw no other way to prevent the tragedy of history repeating itself but to flee his mother's country. Over the centuries, leaving the royal family was an act few had dared. The last to try, in fact, has been his mother. For the first time, Prince Harry tells his own story, chronicling, I can't pronounce that, chronicling his journey with raw, unflinching honesty. A landmark publication, Spare, is full of insight, revelation, self-examination, and hard-won wisdom about the eternal powers of love over grief. Like, can you imagine being that age, losing your parent and being in the spotlight? And let's face it, he was born to be a spare. That was probably the main purpose of them having a second child, was to be the spare. My voice is really croaky today. I've just woke up with a full-on cold, but still wanted to film. So, this is definitely going on the cards somewhere. I don't know if it'll fit at the bottom because it is a hardback. Oh, it only just fits. It fits at the bottom. So, as I said, I have more books like that, so they are in this package. But the first book out of this package is The Quarterback Bad Boy and Me by Tay Marley. What I'm aware of, this is a Wattpad book. I've never read anything on Wattpad, to be honest. Like, it wasn't really my thing. Like, as you know, I've only been reading since starting this channel. Well, just before starting this channel, which, can you believe, has been a year? 1 year I have been on YouTube, and I just want to say thank you so much for those who have watched, subscribed, liked, commented. Because of you, you've given me the encouragement to carry on with this channel, even when it feels rough. Yes, I have taken breaks for my mental health, because if you watch, then you know I suffer really badly with anxiety, depression, and panic disorder, which means there is a lot going on in here. So, let's get back to the book, and thank you for just being there for me. So this says, star cheerleader Dallas Bryn has a problem on her hands, and his name is Drayton LaHaye? Can't pronounce. Ever since the hot star quarterback of Archwood High football team hit her car with his motorcycle, he's had the annoying ability to get under her skin. Dallas has been thinking about Drayton way more than she should, in all the ways she shouldn't, but Dallas has one goal: to pursue her dance school dreams in California. And no one, not even a green-eyed football god, will stop her. As sparks fly, Dallas begins to wonder whether Drayton could cost her her dreams if he doesn't break her heart first. Oh, you just know it's going to be a happy ever after, right? I hope it is. I hope it is. So, just look at the cover as well. Like, I'm not normally a fan of real people on the cover, but you can only see the legs and the football. But we'll see what it's like eventually, when I eventually get round to reading it. And then we have 3 more books in this package. And the first one is Sarah Harding, Hear Me Out. My Story, My Words, My Life. I was actually gutted when she passed away. I absolutely loved Girls Aloud growing up. I mean, I was a bit of an emo kid, but still love some of these pop bands, right? And on the back it says, I can't rewrite history. All I can do is be honest and wear my heart on my sleeve. It's really the only way I know. I want to show people the real me, or perhaps remind them, because when I look back at my time in Girls Aloud, I feel like I became a caricature. I think that's how you say that. And somewhere amongst the nightclubs, the frocks, the hairdos, the big chart hits, and the glamour of being a pop star, The other Sarah Harding got utterly lost. She's the one who's been forgetting. All I want is for you to hear her out. So this you sort of like hear her story and why things changed, I think. And it just drew me in. Like, I wanted to know more about her. And it's something different, something I never normally read. So, like I said, we've got a few more books like this. And then we have another royal, and this is Catherine, the Princess of Wales, the biography. And Robert Jobson, I think, wrote it. Yeah. So this is just this book. I don't know when this was released, to be honest. Does it say? No. It doesn't. It just says, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is truly remarkable. By anyone's standards. If she had been born 50 years earlier, such a journey would have been impossible, the stuff of fairy tales. She may not have had a glass slipper that only fitted her slender foot, but in many ways hers is a modern-day Cinderella story. And let's face it, I know she met Prince William, was it in university or something along the way? And we know she was a very, very ambitious woman. And she's sort of a woman a lot of people can look up to, because she is a very elegant woman. I'll give her that. So let's add this book onto the TBR. Well, the TBR card, should I say. And then the last book out of that package is Kate Garraway, The Power of Hope. A story of love, fear, and never giving up. Kate Garraway lost her husband to COVID. He suffered with it really, really badly for a while. That's all I know. And I want to know how she kept that hope and how she managed to keep focused, because if I was in her shoes, I know I would have been falling apart. The love you have for your partner is literally unexplainable, especially when it goes a lot deeper. Like, it's not just surface level love, it is a deep love. So it says here, I stood at the start of 2020 feeling renewed, thinking that having gotten through the challenges of I'm a Celebrity to get me out of here, I had survived the toughest experience of my life. Faced my worst fears and thrived. Surely the year ahead would be a breeze. How wrong was I? How wrong I was. It hadn't been anything close to the toughest experience of my life. My biggest challenge was just around the corner, and it was, for the most part, going to take place in my own home. In March 2020, Kate Garraway's husband, Derek Draper, contracted COVID-19 and was placed in a medically induced coma. Initially, Kate was told that he would not survive. Still, in the hospital and in critical condition, he is thought to be the UK's longest fighting COVID-19 patient. And COVID really did take over the world. It really did. In this intimate book, Kate shares her deeply personal story, as well as recounting how the illness took hold of the family. She writes about how she is coping with the uncertainty of the future, how she's supporting her children through the traumatic time, how she found strength in community, and how she strives to hold on to hope. Even in the darkest of times, COVID-19 has affected everybody across the country in so many ways, and Kate hopes that by revealing her own personal experience, she will give comfort to others, and that by sharing the lessons she has learned along the way, she will help us all begin to rebuild our lives. Kate's remarkable courage, positivity, and warmth shines through on every page, making The Power of Hope a truly inspiring read that will resonate with all those whose lives continue to be touched by the virus. And I know a lot of people are still getting the virus today, and a lot of people lost so many people they know, so many family members they know to COVID. It was really, really a tough time, and my heart breaks for everybody that lost someone to this virus. Like, I am just heartbroken for you all. But it was a really tough time for everybody during that time, and that's why I wanted to read it, because she's just so inspirational going through this, and she had a hard time dealing with it as well, but she still kept going. And I want to know how she kept going, what pushed her to keep going. So we have 2 more bags left, and I think I want to go through this one first. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that is 6. The first book is The Kilt Trip, and this is by Alexandra Kiley. Ready or Scott, it says. Travel consultant Addie McRae is used to a jet-setting life when she is sent on an assignment to help a failing tour company in Edinburgh. She packs up her emotional baggage and turns on the professional charm. Just look at the cover. Absolutely love it. Rugged as the land he loves, Logan Sutherland's greatest joy is sharing the beauty of Scotland's hidden gems. But the last thing he wants is some American expert pushing tourist traps and perpetuating myths about the Loch Ness Monster. While they wage an office war, Logan discovers Addie's hidden connection to Scotland and, hoping a truce, takes her on a private tour to learn about her past. As the two bond over their love for the road less travelled, sparks fly, but time is running out and Addie's contract is nearly up. How can she return to America if she hasn't experienced all that Scotland and Logan have to offer? Absolutely love romance books like this. Absolutely love it. And I love Scotland, to be fair. I had never been to Scotland until I met my husband, but some of his family lives up there, so we try to go at least once or twice a year if we can. So absolutely love this, and I absolutely love the fact that the man is actually wearing a kilt. Like, that is so funny. So that is going on the shelf. And then we have Mad Honey by... who is it by? Jodie... I can't even pronounce the name, not even going to attempt it. And I've seen this all over BookTok and Instagram, and I really want to give it a read. Don't have a clue what it's about. It says the body of an 18-year-old girl is found at the bottom of the stairs in her family home. Only 2 people know the truth behind what happened, and one of them is dead, and the other is your son. Oh. And the other is your son. Oh my god. Oh my god. Will I be reading this? Absolutely. I am really hoping that to do a challenge of reading the books on this cart soon. I really hope this one comes up because that has intrigued me. Like, really, really intrigued me. But I love the colours of this too. Like, all the bright colours in contrast to the green. It's so cool. And then we have a book by Lisa Jewell, and this is Ralph's Party. I have read, is it The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell? I think that's like the only one that I've read. But just look, another pink cover. Absolutely loving the pink colours at the minute. And the smash hit story of love friends flat shares turns 25. Meet the residents of 31 Alamannock Road. Ralph and Smith are flatmates and best mates. Nothing can come between them until the gorgeous Jemima, I think that's how you say it. I really can't pronounce names, guys. Like, it's one of these things I can't do. Moves in. They're both falling for her, but which one does Jem want? Upstairs, Carl and Siobhan are happily unmarried and have been for 15 years until Sherry, in the flat above, fixes her sights on Carl. Why should a little problem like his girlfriend get in the way? Sooner or later, it's all going to come to a head, and what better place for tears and laughter, breakups, and the makeups than Ralph's Party? Okay. Worth a read, right? These shelves are getting full. And then I have started to read the Harry Potter series, and I love watching the films. And I've seen this, and I've seen, is it She's Booked and Busy? Lindsay from Books and Busy read Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton, and it made me want to get it so badly. So this is Beyond the Wand. It is the paperback version, and I thought Draco Malfoy was a hilarious character. Absolutely loved the character. But it says, I will always be proud of the films that gave me so many opportunities. I'm even prouder of the fans who keep the wizarding world flame burning brighter than ever. Tom Felton's early rise to fame saw him catapulted into the limelight aged just 12 when he landed the iconic role of Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter films. Speaking with candour and his own trademark humour, Tom shares his experience of growing up on screen and as part of the wizarding world for the very first time. I cannot wait to hear his side of what happened and how it all changed his life and so on. Oh, look at all that. Oh, that's just the cutest. All these pictures. It's a baby, the music. Oh my god, that is so cute. And at the front it just has some readers' reviews, Beyond the Wand. I dedicate this book to the muggles who got me here. We are the muggles. Okay, my cart is getting ridiculously full. We have Booked on a Feeling. Have I read this? Have I heard of it? No. Is it the first in the series? I don't know. It says, by the author, there's a sweet mess, the dating there, booked on a feeling. So I don't know if you read this alone or not. However, I will obviously look into that before I read it. But just look at that, we have another pink cover. Like, we've got a few pink covers going on. And it says, Lizzie Chung has her life mapped out. Become a lawyer, join the prestigious law firm, make partner. And it says in the back, in progress. My throat is so dry. If all goes to plan, she'll be checking off the last box in a couple of years, making her parents proud, and living a successful, fulfilled life in LA. One thing that isn't part of her plan, passing out from a panic attack during a pivotal moment in her career. Lizzie decides that what she needs is a place to recharge, and where better than a small California town where she spent her childhood summers with her best friend, Jack Park. Now that Lizzie is back, Jack has 3 weeks to spend with the girl of his dreams while concealing his decade-long crush on her, something that becomes increasingly difficult when he agrees to help Lizzie revamp her local bookstore. Romance amongst the dusty shelves, and the books may not be in Lizzie's plan, but could this new page lead her to the love story she never expected? Oh, and it's got a bookstore in it. I might have to do a video of reading pink covers just so I can read some of these. And then the last book we have in this package was Lessons in Chemistry. I have seen so many mixed reviews on this, but I didn't want to get it brand new because these can get so expensive. So, just buy it all second hand. Absolutely love Vinted or charity shops for that sort of thing. And this is by Bonnie Garmus. It says, Chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing. But it's the early 1960s, and all her male team at the Hastings Research Institute takes a very unscientific view of equality. Forced to resign, she reluctantly signs on as the host of a cooking show, Supper at 6. But her revolutionary approach to cooking, fueled by scientific and rational commentary, grabs the attention of a nation. Okay, and soon a legion of overlooked housewives find themselves daring to change the status quo, one molecule at a time. So she's a scientist, then goes to like a TV chef. Not sure how I feel about it, but hey ho, if it comes up in a reading challenge or I feel like reading it, then we'll give it a try. I'm never one to say no to a book, but we will give it a try. So I might have to make some room up here, or I'm going to see if I can fit them behind at the back, because we still have books in here. Can I open this? And yes, this is how they actually turned up. They turned up in shopping bags. Like a couple of them actually turned up, obviously, as you see, in like mailer bags, but these actually turned up in carrier bags. So there is 7 books in here, so we're going to go just grab a couple. I got 3. So we have Rent to Be by Sonia Hartle. I think that's how you pronounce that. Don't have a clue what this is about. Don't really fancy reading the back of it, to be honest, so we are just going to pop that on the back. It fits a little bit, okay. And then we have Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I have seen a lot of people read this, to be honest, and this is the paperback version. Haven't got the hardback version at all. Have no clue what this is about. But it says the National Book Awards Autobiography of the Year 2018. I literally just guess it's about what she thinks about love, because it doesn't say anything else. It says, very, very funny. Don't hate me when I tell you that everything I know about love is sex and the city for millennials. Really cannot speak. My throat is so dry right now, because I mean it as a high praise. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a drink because my throat is so dry. I shall be back. Oh, that was so needed. So needed. And then we have the Dilemma by B.A. Paris. I have The Therapist by this author. Have yet to read it. It says it's Livia's 40th birthday, and her husband Adam is throwing her a party of a lifetime. Everyone she loves will be there except their daughter Marnie, who is studying abroad. But Livia is secretly glad Marnie won't be there. She has recently uncovered a secret about their daughter which, if revealed, will shake their family to its core. Meanwhile, Adam has his own surprise for his wife. He has arranged for Marnie to fly back to the park for the party, but during the day he hears some terrible news. Now he too is faced with a dilemma. How far would you go to give someone you love the last few hours of happiness? Oh, so, you know, it's going to have twists in there, right? It's going to have some turns in there too. I'm shocked these are actually fitting on the shelf. So we have 4 more books, and these are quite short books. So we have I Am. And this is by Maggie O'Farrell. And on the back it says, a memoir with a difference. I Am is novelist Maggie O'Farrell's unforgettable account of her life in near-death experiences. A childhood illness she was not expected to survive, a terrifying encounter on a remote path, a mismanaged labour in understaffed hospital. Insightful, inspirational, intelligent. It is a story you finish newly conscious, and life fragility determined to make every heartbeat count. Oh my god. I mean, I know what it's like to give birth in an understaffed hospital. It can be one of the worst experiences of your life. And honestly, it can be traumatic. When I had my first child, we was in hospital for 3 days just waiting for someone to break my waters, because I wasn't allowed to carry past a certain point due to complications, and waiting 3 days for your waters to be broken, no. And then the midwife who I had didn't even know my son was back to back, hence why the labour was so long and was just not going as fast as they wanted it to, and there was just some issues here and there. But he got out fine, I ended up fine, just ended up with postnatal depression and severe anxiety and panic disorder, because the traumatic birth brought up stuff from my childhood which I buried deep, didn't want to mention. And yeah, all these feelings flooded to the surface, and bam, hits you in the face, and yeah, goes from there basically. And then we have the perks of being a wallflower. I can't pronounce this person's last name. Is it by Stephen? I can't even pronounce it because I can't even tell what that letter's supposed to be. The perks of being a wallflower, Stephen Chbosky. That's how you say it. It's got it written in the front, Stephen Chbosky. And I walk around the school hallways and look at the people. I look at the teachers and wonder why they're here. Not in a mean way, in a curious way. It's like looking at all the students and wondering who has had their heart broken that day, or wondering who did the heartbreaking and wondering why. Charlie is a freshman, and while he's not the biggest geek in the school, he is by no means popular. Shy, introspective, intelligent, beyond his years, yet socially awkward. He is a wallflower caught between trying to live his life and trying to run from it. Charlie is attempting to navigate his way through uncharted territory. The world of first dates, mixtapes, family dramas, and new friends. The world of sex, drugs, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Absolutely love that. And when all one requires is that perfect song, on that perfect drive to feel infinite. But Charlie can't stay on the sideline forever. Standing on the fringes of life offers a unique perspective, but there comes a time to see what it looks like from the dance floor. The Perks of Being a Wallflower is a deeply affecting coming-of-age story that will spirit you back to those wild and poignant roller coaster days known as growing up. Oh, I really want to read that. That sounds quite fun. Like, it seems quite enjoyable. And then we have Taking Back My Power by Georgia Harrison. If I remember rightly, Georgia was on Love Island. She had the whole thing going on with Stephen Bear as he filmed them having an intimate act and put it online without her knowing. So it says, one woman's campaign for justice for herself for all victims of image-based sexual abuse. And this is just what the cover looks like. It says, in 2020, Georgia Harrison's ex-boyfriend shared intimate footage of her online without her consent. With the click of a button, Georgia's world was ripped apart, but now she's taking back her power. You go, girl, take back your power. In court, Georgia finally told her side of the story, and her ex was found guilty in what became the most talked about case in British media. Although Georgia was a victim, she turned her pain into power. She succeeded in changing the laws around the image-based abuse and became a voice for women. Unfiltered and unflinching, Georgia pulls back the curtain on the nightmare that could have crushed her, but that made her who she is today. Holding nothing back, she shines a light on how to navigate traumatic times, the importance of hope, building resilience, and a positive mindset. Taking Back My Power is more than just a memoir, it's an entire movement. And I agree with that. I'm so proud that she's taken back her power, because doing something like that can affect a woman in so many ways, and it can be quite degrading. So the fact that she's taken back her power, she is so strong. And I know at first she probably didn't even realise how strong she was going through it, but taking back your power is one of the most amazing things you can do. And the last book of the haul, I mean, my shelf is now full. Like, this cart is, the two shelves are full, and obviously there's books behind. And this is Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. It says, love isn't blind, just a little blurry. And look at that, it still has the sticker on. I did not get it from the works. Like I said, I got it off Vinted. It says, struggling artist Sadie Montgomery never saw what was coming, literally. 1 minute she's celebrating placing as a finalist in a prestigious portrait painting competition. The next she's lying in a hospital bed diagnosed with a probably temporary condition known as face blindness. She can still see, but every face she looks at now is jumbled puzzles, disconnected features. As she struggles to hang on to her artistic dream work through major family issues and take care of her beloved dog Peanut, she falls in love, not with one man, but two. The timing couldn't be worse. Making judgment calls on anything right now is a nightmare. If only her life were a little more in focus, Sadie might be able to have it all. So she's in love with two men. Oh, okay. And the writing is a decent size. I mean, I have to wear glasses when reading anyway, but I hate it when it's even more tiny and I'm like proper trying to focus on the words. But this sounds very enjoyable. I don't think I've read a Catherine Center book before, so she is a new to me author. I mean, I have a couple of books on my Kindle that I have not read yet, so this is going to be a great addition to the cart, and we shall add her in. So that is the end of my first haul of 2025, and I am so excited to get reading these books. I mean, I absolutely love reading, and I'm hoping to have some reading vlogs coming up for you pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. Down below, my social media is linked along with my Amazon wishlist with books that I would like to read. like I said, just go follow my social media if you'd like to see more of what content I post. I mainly use YouTube and TikTok, where my main focus is. However, I would like to try and upload more to Instagram. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the first haul of the year. I mean, there was a good few books in there, right? And there was a range of books too. So thank you for watching. I shall see you in the next one. Bye, book besties.